Stability overguard is our government's outlook in response to global economic dynamic. So, are reflected by the decision to lower our economic growth for next year. So, do you think Indonesia will have a room to increase our economic growth in any way?
On your question about the medium term, yes, Indonesia has the capacity to boost its potential growth over the medium term. We just came out with this book titled Realizing Indonesia's Economic Potential, which outlines that a comprehensive package of both fiscal and structural reforms can lift growth over the medium term. Fiscal package would include what we call a medium-term revenue strategy that would lift tax revenue in the economy in order to provide resources to increase spending on infrastructure and social areas like education and health, as well as structural reforms, particularly in the labor and product market areas to boost private employment and investment. The combination of these two reforms, in our view, could raise potential growth by as much as 1 percentage point over the medium term. The fundamentals are much stronger now in Indonesia than they were, say, 10 or 20 years ago. Indonesia has made tremendous progress in reforms, in bringing down public debt, and reducing the imbalances. So I think India is much better positioned now to weather the current emerging market turmoil.
So with inadequate regulation, do you think Indonesia can reap the effect of digital economic growth?
Yeah, the digital economy in Indonesia has grown very rapidly and is supported by a vibrant startup environment. That being said, there are still risks and challenges associated with the digital economy. What I think Indonesia can do right now is to improve financial literacy, to make sure people fully understand the risks and benefits associated with fintech technology. So for example, understanding basics of how bank accounts work, how to protect against fraud, how to protect against cybercrime. These basic skills in education are important to make sure that the fintech revolution benefit as many people as possible.
How do we properly compose the right tax policy without disturbing the business climate?
Okay. Well, I think you're right to point out that Indonesia's low tax base is a constraint on boosting potential growth over the medium term. At 10% of GDP, Indonesia's tax base is low by international standards and low compared to other peer countries. Therefore, the key, as I mentioned earlier, is to put in place a medium-term revenue strategy that aims to raise tax revenue by an additional 5% of GDP, which can be used to finance higher investment in infrastructure and social areas such as education, health, job placement. Now, in this book, Realizing Indonesia's Economic Potential, we outline a strategy for achieving that. And that consists of two aspects. One is on tax policy reform, things like introducing excise taxes on vehicles and fuel, looking to modernize the VAT, corporate and personal income tax systems by reducing or eliminating exemptions, and by gradually raising the VAT rate from 10 to 12%. The other remaining tax revenue can come from improvements in tax administration and tax compliance. The combination of these two elements plus structural reforms can lift potential growth in Indonesia by as much as 1 percentage point over the medium term.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kang, for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.